Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. And today we're going to be talking about the new moon in Gemini. We talked a little bit about the new moon in Gemini in the Saturn retrograde video. If you guys have not checked out the Saturn retrograde video yet, I highly suggest that you do so, as well as the Saturn in Pisces transit video. If you haven't watched that transit is going on until 2026. Really big dynamic energies that we are working with. And the Saturn retrograde, we are experiencing this revisiting of the first decan, if you will, or the first 7 degrees. So almost the first full decan of the sign of Pisces, and Saturn's transit and moving through those energies. So the first retrograde of this year in the sign of Pisces for Saturn. Big stuff, really big that it is happening or beginning during this new moon in Gemini. This new moon is at 26 degrees of Gemini. And there's a couple other interesting things about it that we're going to talk about before we get into the cards. One of the interesting things about this new moon is that it is occurring conjunct Juno. And Juno is the planet, or the asteroid, to be technical about it, that represents love and marriage. So Juno in Gemini is an interesting energy, as Gemini is a mutable sign, immutable air. Gemini is known as one of the more fickle signs in the zodiac, a little bit more difficult to pin down than others. And so it's not to say that Gemini is not a sign. Every sign in the zodiac can be an all-star when it comes to commitment, when they have found that right scenario that really fits for them. For Gemini energy, that right scenario is being in a relationship, being in a committed partnership that allows them to feel free, where they feel like they have the space to be exactly who they are. Nobody's trying to change them. Nobody's trying to pin them down, right? So that's the energy that we're looking for when it comes to our partnerships right now. There's going to be an aspect of that for a lot of people, or we're going to be looking at that aspect of our relationships in partnership as Juno transits the sign of Gemini. And Juno's almost at the end of Gemini, so we've been in this transit for a little while. So this is highlighting in any of our close dynamic partnerships, primarily romantic partnerships, this need to be free, this need to be able to live the way that we see fit, and to love and be loved in a way that makes both parties feel free to express who they are, free to experience the world, to really sink their teeth into life, because that's one of the many things that Gemini energy really wants to do. It also, anybody with Gemini in a placement when we're looking at love is also somebody who values and really needs that type of cerebral stimulation. All right, so this is somebody who's finds intelligence very attractive, finds somebody who is charming, somebody who knows how to conduct a conversation, somebody who can teach them new things. This is very sexy and very alluring to Gemini energy. And so this is an aspect that we've been examining in our partnerships as well, as Juno has been transiting this sign of Gemini. And there's always a reason why I talk about the things I talk about. So there's going to be something relevant there for some people regarding this energy, even if you've just been wondering what's been going on in your relationship and why you've been feeling certain ways and certain aspects have been more important to you lately. That could just be an answer to that question. But with Juno conjunct the sun and the moon during this new moon, partnerships are definitely going to be highlighted. Relationships are going to be highlighted. And we are going to be really examining our partnerships through a lens, probably like I just talked about, which is probably why we got off on that tangent. As far as, needing and desiring those things, and whether or not those are things that are present in our current partnerships, we're going to be looking and thinking more. It's kind of making me think of, and I don't know how many Sex and the City fans we have on here. That was a TV show that was really big when I don't know how old I was, teenager, preteen, moving through those, somewhere within those years. I absolutely loved that show. I've seen every episode of that show many times. I'm not gonna lie, it is a masterpiece as far as I'm concerned, as far as TV goes. Really witty, really funny, great characters, great storylines. Really bold for its time, right? And there was this episode where, for those of you who know, those of you who don't know, you'll still get the point, where Miranda and the other ladies are talking about marriage, and she says, and she says, oh, you caught him when his light was on. And one of the women in the, they're all in a public bathroom somewhere, says, what does that mean? And she said, well, his light was on. At some point in every man's life, he turns his light on. And once he turns his light on, his light is like his desire for commitment. The next woman he meets and dates is the one he's going to marry. And so that's kind of like what this new moon in Gemini energy feels like. It feels like people's lights are going to be turning on. So people who are ready for commitment, especially with that Gemini energy, right? People who are perhaps a bit more fickle, who are perhaps a bit more difficult to tie down, right? Because they're not willing to settle. They want what they want and they're not afraid to wait until they get it. That kind of an energy. We may see some interesting developments there. Another thing that's interesting about this new moon, I almost said full, this new moon, is that it is square Neptune. And we talked about this a little bit when we mentioned the energies of this moon. All right, really interesting that we have that Neptunian energy coming up again, because Saturn is stationing retrograde in Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune. And then we have this square to Neptune during this full moon. And so it's really interesting because I'm looking at the Saturn retrograde and the energies of this. And the Saturn retrograde feels very much, and you'll see if you watch the video as well, we get into some of this, like truth being revealed. All right? Yet the start of this retrograde during this new moon in Gemini, with that square to Neptune, what it feels like to me is that this is beginning the process of truths being revealed. But it's happening by first revealing the lies, the falsities. And so we want to be really careful during this new moon, because we could be wearing our rose-colored glasses. We could very easily be duped if we're not willing to look deeper. But if we look deeper, remember Gemini energy, Gemini wants the facts. All right? And so this is kind of where some people are coming, some situations are coming to a head, right? And it's this energy of like, okay, there's all of this rosy, Neptunian, mystical, dreamy energy in the air, but like, show me the facts, show me the figures. All right, don't, people aren't wanting to live in this etheric energy, this energy of possibility, this energy of indefinites. They want something definite. They want something that they can pin down. They want percentages, they want numbers, they want definitions, they want, and this could definitely be in relationships as well, where the new moon is a pushing point. It's like some people's lights are turning on and some other people whose lights may not be on. The people who have been by their side for some time may be getting to the end of their rope with that. And this could be a make it or break it, definitely a make it or break it moon for relationships. And it doesn't just have to be any type of partnership. This could also include business partnerships, a lot of different things. But definitely with Juno, their relationships, all right. Romantic relationships, marriages, all that whole plethora of things. What were we saying? Yeah, people want definites. They want something concrete. All right. And so this is causing people who may have been kind of like lost in that dreamy energy for a little while, wearing those rose-colored glasses. This new moon, something is going to happen that is going to cause them to desire to take those glasses off and to see things for what they are. All right. And so this is where the journey begins, like the Page of Swords and the Tarot. All right. This is where we begin that journey of looking for information. And we want to know that our first impressions may not be accurate during this new moon with that square to Neptune. All right, so we want to do our due diligence, and we want to allow things to come into our awareness, to allow these areas where we may have been fooling ourselves to be brought to our attention. But then we want to do the process from here on out to uncover the truth. All right, we don't want to necessarily take anything at face value during this new moon. We want it to be the impetus that then draws us to go deeper, to look deeper. Anything else? Big focus on mental health as well, I'm feeling. Spiritual mental health, emotional health. We have, if we're looking at the Arabic points in the chart, and this is something that I'm just starting to play around with. I'm not like, I use a couple of them. I use a couple of the Arabic points, the Arabic lots, or whatever you want to call them. But we have Pluto conjunct the illness lot, and we have Neptune conjunct the health. So it's really interesting. Some people may have illnesses develop around this time. I'm really feeling strongly that if you do, it's your body trying to communicate to you something that you've been missing. All right. So you may be feeling things in your body. You may have psychosomatic physical sensations going on. There may be aspects of your mental or emotional health that really come up to the surface so that you're able to understand them better and how to work with those things and heal them better. Yeah, really interesting. And we also have the happiness and the money points conjunct. So some people, you could be, something really positive and beneficial could be developing for you when it comes to finances, when it comes to money as well. And that's in the sign of Aquarius right now. And so this has to do a lot with finding that happiness, finding that abundance through being yourself, through standing your ground, through speaking your truth, through embracing your uniqueness or doing something in a unique and inventive way. That's 14 degrees of Aquarius there. All right, anything else that's standing out to me? Yeah, we still have Jupiter in that loose conjunction opposition with the nodes. But moving out of that a little ways. Yeah, I think that's all I really want to talk about right now. Is that, hold on. As you can tell, I didn't have time to fully go over this chart before doing this video. I got the opportunity, so I hopped right in. I want to look at Venus here. Venus sextile Mercury, yeah. So that's a really beautiful. Mercury is in a loose sextile to Mars on one side and in a pretty strong sextile to Venus here. So there is a lot that we're going to be, remember Gemini, Mercury rules Gemini, so Mercury is the ruler of this new moon. We're really going to want to, also in a square to Saturn, interestingly enough, right? Saturn stationed retrograde, so Saturn really in its power here. Yeah. We could have insecurities rising to the surface, all right? We could have, like we said, don't jump to conclusions. We're going to desire to talk it out with people, but make sure that you are really being careful and considerate with your words. All right, that you're not putting words in somebody else's mouth, that you're giving other people the chance to speak as well and to really hear what people have to say. Gemini energy is really good at talking. It's not always really great at listening. All right, so we really want to cultivate the listening aspect of our conversations in order to be productive and positive here. Remember, Venus is in the sign of Leo right now, as is Mars. So this is a lot of, there's a lot of fiery energy there, a lot of passionate energy. And Venus and Mars in Leo, right? There is an energy of self here. All right? Leo energy is beautiful energy. Every energy is beautiful, right? But Leo energy can be that needing to be the center of attention, needing to be the focus. All right, so we want to make sure that we are not looking at things from a one-sided perspective, that we are taking into consideration other people, and that we're, like I said, just listening as much, if not more, than we are speaking. All right, anything else we want to talk about here? Beautiful creative energy, though, with Mercury and Gemini sextile, Mars and Venus. Beautiful, beautiful energy there. And Mars and Venus, they're doing their dance. They're getting pretty close to each other here. They're not going to come into exact conjunction this year, but they are going to be within a few degrees of each other. Let me take a look here, actually. They're within 5 degrees of each other right now. So we're feeling that energy of the masculine and the feminine really in this beautiful, creative, fiery Leo energy. And the last time we had a conjunction of Mars and Venus, if I am not mistaken, it was in the sign of Leo. So kind of a throwback to that energy here. They're not coming into exact conjunction, but they're within, it's 3 degrees and 33 minutes of each other that we're going to see them. 333. So... and we are going to talk about that energy a little bit more coming up here as Venus is beginning her retrograde next month. But yeah, so there's this beautiful fiery energy going on between our masculine and our feminine, beautiful, highly creative energy. And then we pair that with a sextile to Mercury, which stimulates with lots of ideas, lots of expression. So working with your creative juices is a really great way to work with this energy. All right, let's pull some cards here. What do we want to start out with? I want to start out with the good old-fashioned Moonology Oracle for this new moon in Gemini. Clear. 26 degrees, which is a Taurian degree, which also breaks down to an 8. So there's some 8 energy in there as well. Final decan, right? Toward the end, wrapping up the energies here. New moon in Gemini. What guidance do we have for this new moon in Gemini? All right. We have new moon in Pisces coming out. Meditate and contemplate. And see, once again, we have the duality. Mercury, or Gemini rather, being the sign of the twins, right? Representing duality. Pisces, another sign that represents duality. With the 2 fish. That Piscean energy coming in strong again. Reminding us, like, we're going to want to do a lot of talking during this new moon, but perhaps sometimes not only is it better to listen when we're in conversation to others, but also when we're in conversation with spirit, with our higher selves. One of my favorite quotes regarding meditation and prayer is that prayer is talking to God, meditation is listening. All right. A lot of times we talk. We're talking to our higher selves, we're talking to our guides, right? But we don't take enough time to sit back and listen. And listening isn't just sitting in meditation. It's also paying attention to the signs of synchronicities, everything that's going on all around us, right? However, meditation is a key part of that listening process. I love this. And then we have Sagittarius. All right, so we got a lot of mutable energy out here right now. I was just thinking we were missing mutable fire, but here it is. Luck is on your side. Things will work out better for you in any situation you're encountering right now. If you take the time to step back, if you take that time to breathe, if you give that pause. All right, and there are messages that your higher self wants to send you. Remember, it's not just the people communicating. Your higher self is feeling chatty too. And your higher self has some things it wants to tell you, wants to share with you, but it needs you to get quiet and cultivate that sacred space in order for that connection, in order for those messages to come in. Some people, I feel like your higher self has been talking to you through music. So pay attention to the music that you're hearing. Your higher self is working through the music to deliver messages to you. All right, we have What Do You Need to Release? Waning Moon coming out here. We also have faith in your dreams and be bold and make the first move. All right, and that's Aries energy, if I'm not mistaken. No, cardinal moon. Okay, so just cardinal energy in general there. Somebody needs to release some blocks, some fears around your ability to have faith in yourself and your dreams and your abilities. Because those blocks are and fears are what's preventing you from making the move that you need to make. From taking that first step. And we have Jupiter, like we said, still within range of the North Node right now. In opposition, loose opposition to the South Node, all right? So this is like the abundance, the blessings, the beautiful beginnings that are possible when we release the past and step into our future with both feet. All right. In Taurus, right, a sign of resilience, a sign of fortitude, a sign of presence. One of the most important energies to consider when we're looking at Taurus energy is the energy of presence, the art of being present in the now, which is the only moment that exists, right? That's where all our power is located, in the now, to create, to manifest, to be. The now is like our 0 point, right? Somebody too, it's like, you need to release something physical. It's not just belief systems and fears here. Sorry, checking on my kid. It's not just belief systems or fears here that you need to release. It's something in the physical. Something in the physical that's preventing you from having faith in yourself and your dreams. So this could be a person that's like a real downer, right? Somebody who... It's like, what I'm feeling for some people is it's literally like an outward manifestation of your inner critic. Right? You know, like how a lot of people, their inner critic's voice sounds like their mother or their father or somebody else who was really judgmental of them when they were younger. All right? Some people, your inner critic sounds like them. But it's like somebody has literally manifested somebody on the outside that's like their own inner critic, talking to them all the time. Telling them all the stuff that their inner critic would say. And that energy is really toxic. That person needs to be let go. For some people, it's like you have a job, or perhaps you're like me and you have a lot of side hustles. You have a lot of different things that you do, and one of those things you commit a lot of time and energy to, and it's literally like sucking you dry. And it's like your attachment to that thing and your refusal to let it go is holding you back. It's like Spirit saying, do you have enough faith? Do you have enough trust in your dreams, in yourself, and your ability to fulfill your dreams to let that thing go? Because that's the next thing that needs to happen. You need to let that go. Something, for many of us, we have something in our lives that's blocking the flow of abundance. That's there because we don't have enough faith in our dreams and our ability to manifest them. And it's time to release that. It's time to let that go. And that's going to become really clear around this new moon in Gemini. Anything else here? New moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. Talking about that Taurus energy. All right. Bring in that prosperity through embracing this Taurian energy. Be present for your blessings. Be here now. All right. Create your goal. Zero in on that goal. And put your energy, your effort, and your focus towards achieving it. Play the long game. We talked about this in a little mini reading I did the other day. The importance of the long game right now. All right? Put the time and the effort and the energy in now. It will reap results. Taurus energy is very patient. Taurus energy plods along, right? But it gets where it's going, and it does it at a pace that is... it does it at a pace which is... beneficial, a pace that is a pace that makes sense, right? That's sustainable. That's the word that I was looking for. Yes, and everything that I was just saying, right? Nothing will come of this situation. Your prosperity comes when you're willing to let go, to have enough faith in yourself and your dreams, to let go of what's holding you back and make that move that you need to make. That it's like a final declaration to the universe of like, I'm all in, is what it feels like. And let your worries go. Part of the meaning of this card is excessive worry over things that are never going to come to fruition anyway. Right? It's like we create all these negative scenarios and possibilities in our minds, and we think we're doing it to prepare ourselves and to protect ourselves. But really, we're just creating unnecessary chaos in our mental space. And sometimes even bringing those things to fruition, those timelines to fruition, if we focus on them too much, right? We want to be prepared for anything, but we want to focus our energy on the positive, on the possibilities. We have nothing as yet set in stone, mutable moon, okay? Meaning things could go a whole number of directions right now. I want to pull a couple Zodiac of the 108 cards here. Get a little clarity. Some of you guys, the excessive worrying and the doomsday prepping kind of an energy is what you need to release. Because like I said, you want to be prepared, but you don't want to be always in that energy of like waiting for the next crisis. Clear. I want to give me a little more energy about nothing is actually, hold on. Do I want to use these right now? I'm being pulled in a couple different directions. We'll use these for right now. Nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. Tell me more about this energy. That's once again bringing us back to the energy of like, don't call it before you see it. The energy of like getting more information. Tell us anything else we need to know about this nothing is yet set in stone energy. Okay, at this time, the situation or outcome is very likely to occur. All right, so what this is something good is happening for somebody. Something good is happening for somebody, but your excessive worrying about it is going to possibly push it right out of your reality. So stop worrying. It is very likely. It is like the most likely timelines are all pointing towards something beneficial, towards a yes, but don't throw that off. That's what that nothing is yet set in stone is a warning of, like, don't throw it off with excessive worrying. All right? Rainbow. This is a wish being granted here. All right? This is something beautiful and prosperous is manifesting for you. So just allow that process. Don't be the kink in the works here. All right? Abundance is coming to you, but you have to believe in it. All right? You have been patient. You have been persistent. You have been really standing in and mastering this Taurus energy here. Some of you might actually be a Taurus. I'm thinking of a couple as I'm reading this right now that this message will really resonate for. All right? You've put in the work. Now you are getting what you earned. All right, so don't sell yourself short either, and don't tell yourself that you don't deserve this or that you didn't earn this. You absolutely did. You put in the work. You put in the time. You have been dedicated. You are reaping what you sow, all right, in a very beautiful, beneficial way, but don't screw it up. All right, don't shoot yourself in the foot. That's the energy here. Then we have the rings and the pearl. All right. Oh, this is beautiful energy here. This is a soul contract coming through. This is somebody connecting very deeply with another. The energy of the pearl here is going to be really specific for somebody, I feel like. Yeah, these are powerful soul contracts coming to fruition here. This is a deepening connection with your partner. If you haven't been feeling super connected to your partner, if you are in a partnership right now, this is like a deeper level of connection opening up between the two of you, a deeper level of honesty. I think for some it starts with honesty. And once that honesty comes through, it's like everything else comes through with it. It's like on some level, you needed to be more honest with each other. You were being dishonest in some way, shape, or form, even if it was just through omittance, even if it was just not sharing the true depth of your feelings, not sharing what you really, truly thought, holding something back. You were holding something back, one or both parties here. And now you're really opening those floodgates. You're allowing that. You're being honest. You're putting it all out there. All right, a deeper layer is being peeled away. And when that happens, there's a deeper level of connection and commitment that comes through here. Somebody may even be getting engaged, if you weren't yet. Fortress, staying power, backbone, enduring, lasting, unbreakable. All right, this is a deep, deep union. Deep, profound, strong. This connection, this union, what you are building together has staying power. All right. And I feel for somebody that this is for, because there could be many people that aspects of this part of this reading are going to resonate for. But for somebody that this is resonating for, and we've got 2 1s here, 1 1 and then a 2. Interesting. 11 2 11 22. I'm feeling angel numbers 1 1 1 11 11 11 22 2 2 2 1 2 1 2. All those combinations, those may be relevant for people that this part of the reading's for. You guys have been together for a while. You've been through a lot. All right, you've been through a lot. And things may have been rough. There was a lot that you were adapting to, a lot of changes maybe that you guys have weathered together, a lot of storms. And you're coming through this even stronger now. And for somebody else, this could be the same or this could be a different situation. Somebody was really closed off. That's where it's like this deeper level is being revealed. All right? This deeper level of them, of their truth, of who they are, that they're ready to show you. And that's what's allowing for this deeper level of intimacy as well, I think. And that was part of the agreement. That was part of the soul contract here. Was for one of you to allow and that process of opening to each other. You're each teaching each other how to do that, how to connect, teaching each other about intimacy, about connection, about partnership in a different way. And you've been learning some really powerful, some really sometimes painful lessons, and the painful part of those lessons is coming to an end. Then we have friends and still here. So this is all about developing over time, purifying. So this is where there's a lot going on with our friendships during this new moon as well, our connections in general. It's not just our love relationships, right? It's all of our connections, all of our partnerships. All right. So we're really seeing and appreciating those connections that we have that have refined over time, right? The connections that we've had, the people that have been in our lives for a long time. This is the Taurus card again. All right. But we're also beginning to see and understand, I think, like there may be new friends coming on the scene that we feel connected to because they're part of our soul tribe that we've only known for hours or days or weeks, right? And we may be letting go of some of these older connections. Some people, it's like you're really appreciating those on a deeper level. For others, it's time to let go of some of those, or it's time to simplify. It's time to cut down, cut out all of the acquaintances, right, and just like shore up your network a little bit. All right, but you may have new people coming in, and you may realize that you haven't known them as long as you've known some of these other people, but you feel more connected to them. All right. So it's like knowing, being able to recognize the quality of our relationships and going for quality over quantity, to sum that up. Yeah. And some people, I am feeling like I want to say too, as far as like the relationships and stuff go too, if somebody cheated, there was a third party type situation and you've been trying to heal from that energy, I feel like there is a healing coming through for that. It's not always a situation where we want to work through that, but sometimes we do, right? Because sometimes people make mistakes and things happen, right? And it's never a mistake, right? Because we're learning, we're growing. Sometimes that's part of the growth that we signed on for with each other, all right? And sometimes it's just a sign that like things aren't working, it's time to go. All right, it's different for everybody. For some people who are working through that energy, you're going to be finding healing for that. And we're just looking in general. It's 7 of Pentacles energy once again. Looking at everything that we're investing our time and our energy into. Not just our relationships and our friendships, but everything. All right? Is it worth the effort? Is it worth the energy? Is it worth the risk? I feel like somebody is having to make, some people are having to make some powerful choices. And they're really considering with that Gemini energy, right? The two sides. They're really considering both sides, the pros and the cons, weighing situations right now. one card for this pros and cons here. Lots of options. All right. Just a lot of decisions needing to be made right now. All relating to our overall enjoyment of life. All right. Our overall abundance. Yeah, and a lot of connections being made right now. All right, we got the constellation card too. So friends and constellation. Constellation's all about connections as well. We got social media coming up a few times, network, support systems. Some people, I feel like you're trying to make a choice or a decision and you're asking for too many people's input and you're doing too much Googling, you're doing too much research, you're looking outside of yourself too much for the answer. And that's what brings us back to the first card in this reading, meditate and contemplate. That's where you're going to find your ultimate answer. Some people, it's like you're just really expanding your support network right now. You're really expanding your connections. You're really putting yourself out there. Just make sure that you're shielding and you're cutting yourself off from energies at the end of the day, because some of you guys, you're really connecting to large groups. I almost wanted to say audiences. So for some of you guys, where you are in like the spotlight, like your reach is growing. Okay. Anything else? Your influence is growing. And we have unchanged within a few days. So something, and I was asking about this energy of meeting someone in person, connecting with somebody in person was coming through, and I was asking about that energy more specifically, and I got within a few days, unchanged within a few days. So somebody, if you're like going on a blind date, or you're like, say you met somebody online or something like that, and you're going to meet up with them for the first time, or you're waiting to spend time with somebody in person. For somebody else, this could be even like you're in a long distance relationship and you're waiting to see this person. You haven't seen them in a long time. That is going to be something we'll be developing there within a few days. Whoa, lots of cards coming out here. I'm trying to end this and just more cards start coming out. We got the bedroom card that came out after I said something we'll be developing within a few days. So read into that what you will. Wow, all of these connection cards. The roundabout is once again about connections, new directions. There's just a lot of really rapid fire energy going on right now. That's why one of the other meanings of this card is take the time to sleep on it sometimes if you need to. Don't feel like you're being pushed into, don't allow yourself to be pushed into any situation, decision too quickly. And yeah, with this repairman and the Anamkara coming out, a lot of healing for relationships too. A lot of healing, making things right where that applies and is needed and necessary. Clear. We're gonna pull a closing card. Oh my God, so much energy here. Whew, yeah, I can't even, there's so much going on there. We can't even tap in specifically into all of that. But lots popping off, let's put it that way. So that's why stay grounded. That Taurus, for some reason, Taurus energy keeps coming through here. Stay grounded. Use that Piscean, take that time to meditate, to come back to your center, right? To get centered in your own energy. Especially if you have you're engaging with a lot of people in whatever way. You want to make sure that All those energies are mixing and mingling with yours. So you want to be clearing that out. You want to be stabilizing in your own energy. What do we want to do here to close? Ooh, interesting. I actually want to pull from the Oracle of the Mermaids. We don't use this deck super often. I find it to be a little too accurate sometimes, so I don't sometimes mess with it for myself unless I really want the truth, which is interesting, right? Let's give us a closing card for this new moon in Gemini. Closing card here. Closing card here. Yeah, if anybody has like an event coming up where a bunch of people are going to be together, like you've been invited to some type of event, social event gathering of any kind, I feel like that's going to be pretty dynamic. I feel like it's going to be pretty dynamic, especially if this is something that's set to occur within the next few days, which would be right around or on the new moon, right? As I'm recording this, I think we're like 4 or 5 days out from the new moon. Yeah, so right on or around that new moon time, it's going to be something. That's all I can say right now. It's going to be very interesting. Keep your wits about you. But definitely, I would say, definitely go check it out. Just remember all the guidance that came through in this reading. All right, Coral's Wisdom is the card that came out for us for the new moon. Card 31, which breaks down to a 4, right? Colony, delicacy, fragility. Works that are created over great periods of time. Right, so there's that Taurus energy, right? That still energy, that energy of refinement over time. That energy of commitment and persistence, perseverance. Oh, and then I love on the bottom of the deck here, we have falling in love, kissing the divine in another and in yourself. So that's beautiful too. All right, let's see what I want to read of this card for you. I don't know if we're going to read all of that. All right, so this is working literally with the energy of the coral in the ocean is what this is talking about. Coral as a magical talisman to enhance beauty and to ensure protection has long been used. Tune into the coral and see which color comes to you to know what messages these precious tiny creatures are communicating to you. Each coral family has particular qualities and each region has an energetic signature that is unique. To tune into your coral, read the list below and then simply hold your coral in your receiving hand. This is so interesting. So this is like a crystal prescription for us, but we're working with coral. Red coral. Let's see. This is so strange. It's such a strange card to pull, but we're trusting it, right? We're going with it. Red coral prevents bleeding, is wonderful for the menstrual cycle and for women who are going into their crone years. It also heals wounds and makes people strong. Blue coral can prevent illness and disease developing, restores balance to the body, soul, emotions, and spirit. Golden coral is beautiful and rare and creates abundance and great fortune. Black coral banishes negative energies from your body and your bones in particular. Interesting. Black coral can assist in banishing disease and in aiding people with osteoporosis. And something really interesting that just kind of flashed through when I was reading about the black coral, banishing negative energy from your bones. There's ancestral energy here too. There's like an ancestral curse where somebody's ancestors' bones were used in a dark ritual. A ritual to bind the bloodline, it feels like. And you can release your ancestors and yourself, right? Because you are part of that bloodline. You incarnated into that bloodline. Through working with black coral, I feel black and red, right? Because red relates to the blood, and it was a blood a blood ritual, a blood curse on your bloodline, right? Yeah, so that's interesting. Whoever that's for, you're going to know intuitively what to do with that information. Angel skin coral is soft pink coral that can be worked with to prevent and ease skin conditions such as psoriasis, eczema, and sensitive skin and eyes. It also helps with sinus issues, acne, and increases and stabilizes liver function. And white coral is pure rebirth. It assists in transformation, allowing yourself to change and develop once again. It assists with love that is unconditional and kind. And it can be used to program and store energies. Really interesting stuff, you guys. I'm gonna read the inverted message for that too. I can't remember how this. I don't think I was thinking there were reverse. There usually aren't in a lot of oracle cards, so I didn't even pay attention to whether this was upright or reverse. But I'm feeling like I want to read that. This also says that let's see. Coral can help connect you back to Atlantis and Lumeria. They're an ancient living storehouse of memories and wisdom and collective consciousness of life itself on this planet. All right, so all of that information is stored within the coral. So if you're looking to access past life memories as well, I'm feeling, especially if you have a connection to Lumeria or, say, Atlantis, and you would want to look at, I don't know, do they have coral in Southern California on the beaches there? That would be where you would want to look for coral relating to, I believe that would be Lumeria, right? And then I believe coral around the Florida area might connect to Atlantis. Hawaii, around Hawaii, you're going to connect with those energies as well. I feel like the Lemurian energy there too. Yeah, so some of you guys, if you have access to any of those locations, you may want to go like actually work with the coral there. And that's going to help you retrieve some of your past life memories that are necessary for you now. And working with mermaids in general, that's probably why I chose this deck for today. Working with the energy of the mermaids, the oceans, working with the ocean. There's wisdom in the ocean for people. During this new moon, it's like a gateway of energy that's opening up, that's really allowing us to connect with the healing power of water, of the oceans. Even though Gemini's an air sign, I'm feeling that water energy coming through really strongly. Pisces, right, being a water sign, there's a lot of Piscean energy here. Helping us to connect with our some of our deep history on this planet, right? Looking at Lemuria, looking at Atlantis. We are in a repeating cycle since Atlantis, a repeated inverted cycle that we're breaking out of right now. So there's really important, the stories of what happened back then are so important because we're repeating them, we're living them again today. All right? So if we want a different outcome this time, we have to do something different, but we got to understand what we did last time, what happened, what went wrong. All right, those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it. All right, so there's like a gateway during this new moon that's opening up, that's allowing us to touch back in, to remember. All right, to access some of the magic as well that still lives in us, that still lives in this coral, right? The coral, the collection of this wisdom, of these energies, the crystals underneath the sea, right? Working with the oceans in that respect, knowing that they contain these powerful crystals, these generators of energy. That connection really being activated for us during this new moon. And because of that, I'm also going to pull a Beyond Lemuria card to close. All right, one last card here. Wow. Clear. Powerful. So the coral, like the crystals, another talisman, another magical artifact, an object that can link us back in, activate our DNA, I'm seeing for some people. Soul gifts, abilities, memories. Help us to remember all the secrets of those times are buried in the ocean, but they are being unearthed. Not all the secrets, but many of the secrets, right? Many of the secrets were buried for a reason to resurface at the appropriate time, and that time is now. All right, closing card for this new moon in Gemini from our Lumerian. We have Starseed Elemental coming out, card 45. Hold on, let me find this page, then I'll hold that up again. This is all about our children as teachers. Fun, lightheartedness, and joy, the inner child. Maintaining an inquisitive perspective, and there's Gemini for you, right? That is a perfect explanation of Gemini energy, wonder and imagination. All right. So this is if you have children in your life, in your world, spend time with them during this new moon. Allow them to activate your own inner child to bring healing. Allow them to instill that sense of wonder in you once again. All right. Remember, children are so aware of energy. They are so naturally sensitive and psychic, right? They haven't learned to shut down. They haven't been taught to shut down all of their magic yet. They're still living very much in the magic. All right. When we are so bogged down by heaviness, by responsibility, by all of the burdens of this three-dimensional world, right? It can get really heavy. So if we find ourselves getting too serious, spend some time with a child. Connect with your own inner child. All right? Let's see. Facing challenging circumstances with inquisitiveness can bring joy to whatever we are accomplishing. Imagine stepping into a child's shoes and seeing how they perceive the world. If you have a problem, consider how a child might solve it. Isn't that interesting? Let's see. Think back to when you were little and how you love and what you love to do. Remember how the world felt around you and how magical and mysterious things may have been. What has changed? What would you tell the 7-year-old you? The little people of today will be the inventors, creators, and leaders of tomorrow. How can we help nourish their big souls to ready them for an optimal journey through life? Right now, powerful souls are incarnating on Earth to help with the progression of this planet. All children are equally special, but some may have different or unique needs due to their more sensitive and energetic natures. The ways children were brought up in previous generations may not be the best options for today. Humans are evolving, and children can be our wisest teachers. May we listen to them with our hearts and let their ways unveil fresh new eyes so we may see a whole new world. So really paying attention to your children and any messages they have for you on and around this time, I'm feeling. And bringing in that energy of play, lightness, spontaneity. And furred and feathered friends on the bottom of the deck. So spending time with children and animals. All right, what great. Spending time communing with the ocean, right? Playing with coral, hanging out with your pets, with your children. The guidance couldn't get more fun and more beautiful for this new moon, right? These all sound like amazing things and amazing ways to be spending our time. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Got that beautiful heart-opening energy there on the bottom of the deck. If you did, drop a comment down below and let me know. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to share this with somebody you know who might enjoy it. You guys are incredible. I think I just said that. I'm saying it again. I will say it over and over again, day in and day out, because it is so true, and I appreciate each and every one of you so extremely, incredibly much. If you would like to book a one-on-one session with me, I do all kinds of different types of healing sessions, readings, tarot, astrology, quantum healing, hypnosis, entity removal, past life regression, angelic healing, you name it. Reach out to me. My email and my website are linked in the description box below. Love you. Honor you. Respect you. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon.